I'm Judith Mikita, and the name of my piece is A Leonardo Dream. I tend to start with a reservoir of material, of physical material, that I will find an impulse, a direction that builds phrases. And then when I join the cast, we then manipulate those phrases with the tools of the craft, time, space, energy. I also want to respect the humans that we are working with and how those bodies work together. And so, as I thought, for example, of inspiration, where in the body do we feel that? Or is it in the senses? Do we hear something? Do we see something? Do we feel it in our heart? Do we have an idea of a light bulb that happens in our minds? Sometimes ideas are a struggle, and so I wanted to show that physical struggle by the body in conflict with itself, changes of directions, also floor pattern that is not a straight trajectory, but veering from side to side or finding circuitous paths, that the act of creating something and making something happen is not a straight line. There is an honesty that comes through movement that is committed to the project, to the work, to the audience. And I've always considered performance an act of service. All of those hours of rehearsing, all of that time, training, my aim, oftentimes before a performance, is, even though there might be 500 people in the audience, if we just touch one heart, that's really a magical thing. I believe it takes a lot of discipline to be visionary, and it takes practice, preparation, trust, respect of the process. And then on top of that, there's still this wonderful surge of, where did that come from? Even though we've gone to the studio time and time again, even though we have practiced the tools of the craft and taught dance composition and we know the academics of it, there are often these moments of inexplicable inspiration. But I really believe that it has taken all of that really hard work and discipline first to set into motion, just as our church leaders often talk about. There is a discipline to receiving revelation. There is a practice. And as we write it down, record it, think about it, do something about it, and then what? If you've received this, and then what shall we do about it? Then we are entrusted with more. I think no matter what my pieces are about, it's always a celebration of the human body, that these instruments carry us through our earthly journey and house every experience that we have. I used to ruin shoes as a second grader, 7-year-old, and I went through a pair of shoes a month for a while, and as a little girl, and my mother looked at me clearly and said, "Honey, I have one child who will never wear out a pair of shoes. Mommy is happy to buy you a pair of shoes. So you go ahead and run and jump and dance because you can." And so I love being part of these young people with these instruments that can just do anything, and to help them celebrate that instrument. One of the dancers said, in my work, she's asked to do things she never thought she could do. And how fun it is to be able to be a part of something that you become bigger than your own little world or your own body, that because of the energy shared by the other dancers and because of what we're making together, you just feel a part of something so much bigger and timeless, eternal even.